Welcome to Soul Melodica. I'm Tim Kaiser, and today we're going to listen to the song I Found God by the Fray. Now, if you've not been here before, the main thrust of this channel is to analyze and dissect lyrics. So this is more of a lyrical interpretation, and we can hit some of the video stuff and music quality, but it's primarily the lyrics. So let's get into it. The Fray, I Found God.
I found God on the corner of First and Amistad, where the West was all but one, all alone, smoking his last cigarette. I said, where you been? He said, ask anything.
So right away, it's like I know this song, as I did a little bit of research, is based on a movie about some angels that come to earth. I've never seen the movie before, and it didn't sound familiar. So I know it has that context where it's lyrical interpretation of a movie. But let's get into this right now. It's like he was walking down the street, bumped into this guy in the form of God, it looks like. Not sure if God smokes cigarettes, but hey, let's go with it. The guy has a poetic license, but the sound is fantastic. And I believe that bridge, those bridges look very familiar. They're similar to Chicago style. So I don't know. I think the Fray is from Colorado, but this bridge looks like Chicago. But so far, and God says, ask me anything. This is something people don't realize about God. There's a scripture in the Bible, Hebrews 11:6, that says that without faith, it's impossible to please God. Not Hebrews 11:1. It basically says to ask God, to seek him, that you must believe that God is, and he's a reward of those who diligently seek him. And that seek him isn't not like some, nebulous, esoterical worship, getting lost and crying because God is so good. It's actually the word seek is like a quest, and we get our word question from that. And so God doesn't mind us asking the hard questions. We don't always get answers because sometimes the answers are beyond our mental capacity. Sometimes the answers we get are beyond our emotional capacity. Sometimes life is just friggin' hard, right? And we don't want to hear that when things are going bad. But I love this. He's like, ask me anything. And I peeked at the lyrics. If you see me looking down and looking at my phone, because that's where the lyrics are. But I think this is going to be really good. Let's go.
Where were you when everything was falling apart? All my days were spent by telephone that never rang. All I needed was a call that never came to the corner of First and Amistad. Lost and insecure.
So here in this part, the verse, it's like, everything was falling apart. God, and I didn't hear from you. And this is an aside from the movie. If you have not, or from the video, if you have not seen the movie Silence with Liam Neeson, Adam Driver, I can't remember the guy's first name, Garfield. He played Spider-Man and also played in Hacksaw Ridge. Might be one of the most flawless movies ever made, and it's about Portuguese missionaries, Catholic missionaries that go to Japan, and silence is like God's not speaking. Brutal movie, but fantastic. You don't have to be a Christian to like that movie, man. That's just a great movie. So I highly encourage you to watch that. But he's like, things were falling apart, and the phone never rang, never called. Right? He's being taken poetic license because obviously God's not gonna call us on the phone. But it's kind of like sometimes we just need to know He's there. And again, go back into one of my original statements. Sometimes life is just friggin' hard.
But in the end, everyone ends up alone, losing her.
That's a Chicago.
The only one who's ever known who
So that verse is, CTA. In the end, everyone ends up alone, losing her, the only one who's ever known who I am, who I'm not, and who I'm going to be. No way to know how long she'll be next to me. In the end, we all end up alone. That's so true, right? It's just us, the turnstile through the afterlife, right? We don't get to go with a group of people. We go alone in the end. Yeah, this is good, man. This is a good song.
Early morning, the city breaks. I've been calling for years and years and years and years, and you never left me no messages. You never sent me no letters. You got some kind of nerve taking all I want.
So there's a line there, and it's not clear how he's singing, but I want to read it to you. I think this is appropriate. This is an appropriate way to talk to God when you're praying. I truly believe this. God's not gonna get offended. He's like, I've been calling for years and years and years and years, and you never left me no messages. You never sent me no letters. You got some kind of nerve taking, and that's what the line is. You've got some kind of nerve taking all I want. This is the kind of brutal honesty that God wants from us. It's not like, oh, if you could please. I mean, because he knows our life is tough, right? Well, why doesn't he do something about it? Well, we'll talk about that at the end a little bit, but I just want to highlight that line. You've got some kind of nerve. That's the kind of honest conversation we can have with God. Trust me.
Lost and insecure, you found me lying on the floor. Where were you? Lost and insecure. You found me lying on the floor. Surrounded, why'd you have to wait? Where were you? Just a little late. You found me. Why'd you have to wait to find me?
That's a great song. So overarching from this song, I believe, and it may not be intentional, it may just be my interpretation of the song, but it's dealing with probably one of the most difficult concepts in apologetics for a Christian. Apologetics is defending your right to belief in God. And you're defending your belief in God based on evidence. And there's plenty of arguments for that. There's the cosmological argument, there's the fine-tuning of the universe, there's the historical argument. There's a lot of things that are really strong logic and evidence-based. They've been proven over and over. Even most college professors and researchers would say, yeah, that the Bible is a reliable collection of books and historically accurate. They'll say that, there's the universe is fine-tuned to such precision that it lends to a creator. There's a great scene in the Young Sheldon TV show where after his dad died and he's talking to his mom, and his mom's faith is rocked because their dad died, and Sheldon, who's always been an atheist, explains the fine-tuning to his mom. And there's all these arguments that are really solid that support belief in God. But the one that this song deals with, I believe, is the most challenging, is the problem of evil. And because this is an emotional argument, and it's hard to argue against how someone feels, and you can't say, well, logically. I mean, you can, but it doesn't work, because bad things happen in our lives, and then you're left holding up the pieces, and the question, it's a legitimate question, is to ask why. Why did God allow this to happen? And I've shared this story before. And it's probably the most horrific thing that's ever happened in my family. This is well over 20 years ago. But my cousin and her husband and all four of their children were killed in a house fire. And my aunt, that was all her grandkids got killed in one night. And then she had two kids. One died, and great son-in-law. And she's, she has to wake up the next day, and she's a Christian. And this lady also had a son die previously when I was an infant. I was like 3 or 4 years old, toddler, I guess, not infant, toddler. He died of SIDS, a sudden infant, SIDS. We called it crib death back in the day. And so this lady had a super hard life. So she's there holding this up and saying, "Why, God?" And those are fair questions to ask. And so the hard part is you can have a flippant answer, believing that God is control of everything and everything happens for a purpose and a reason. And sometimes things happen really bad, and we have free will. I know this is going to make my Reformed friends crazy, but we make choices every single day, and our choices impact other people, and those choices kind of reverberate like a butterfly effect. And sometimes bad things happen, and it's like this is I liken it, and this is, some Christians don't like this example, but like in the Avengers movie where Doctor Strange was trying to figure out all the different scenarios how they could beat Thanos, and he like went through a billion different scenarios in his brain and said there's only one way this can happen. But in that way, spoiler alert, people died, right? Some of the good people died. Some of our characters we love died. But it was the only way that this could happen, that the end result could happen. And I know this is kind of like a sophomoric example, but I truly believe that God in his infinite wisdom and creation of time knew exactly what had to happen to get us to a point in life where his perfect will can happen. Now, will you say, well, he's God, he can do what he wants to do? Well, he can, but if he wants to give us an opportunity to actually do things and make decisions, whether to accept him or reject him, then he can't. He forfeits that right, because he says they get to choose, and then they're going to deal with the aftermath of their choices. But I believe that God, in his infinite wisdom, mercy, and grace, this is the best outcome for us being allowed to make decisions. We're talking about billions and billions of people over the course of creation who've been making decisions. And that's my take on it. I know some people will have a different take, and that's So the Fray, I Found God. What a great song. Hope you'd enjoy this. If you have, please like, subscribe, share, and I will see you soon with a new video. Until then, may God's grace and peace come upon you, overwhelm you, and overtake you. Blessings.